Hi YouTube! I'm just here with Yvonne Macor. I guess I have to look into the little camera instead of over here at us. Anyways, I'm here with Yvonne Macor from Sri Sri Ayurveda, and I'm just doing a little interview with Yvonne, and we're going to talk about Ayurveda.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's tell YouTube what Ayurveda is.
Ayurveda. Ayur is life. And Veda, everyone should know what the Veda is. Vedas are the ancient knowledge of India. It's like a sister science to yoga.
Okay. And so what do you teach? What are you most passionate about teaching?
Teaching about our balance in our balance with nature. Because Ayurveda is based on that we're all made up of the 5 elements. Mm-hmm. And some of us have a little more fire than others, or a little more earth.
Yeah.
And so that we have different body types.
Okay.
And the way to stay balanced and centered in who you really are is to take in foods and experiences and lifestyle things that keep you balanced when the weather is changing, for example. It gets cold, you put on a sweater.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
Or a little more exact example is it gets cold, you start eating carrots and beets because they come from the earth and they're heavier and have a little more heat in them.
Okay, so if I'm feeling irritated or angry, I have more fire. Is that right?
That's right.
So I wouldn't choose a food like a hot pepper.
You really got that right away. Fiery.
Yeah.
Right? We use that word in English.
Yeah, so I wouldn't eat a hot pepper if I'm already in that state, because that would be like fuel to the fire, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
Any really spicy foods are not good for people with a lot of fire.
People with a lot of fire. So if I'm feeling sluggish, then it would be a good choice to eat a hot pepper, because that would maybe, light a fire under me to move.
Yes.
Cool.
And if you're cold, also
You can have
fiery foods.
fiery foods. Okay.
That depends on how strong you are. For example, a person with a lot of air, we call that wind sometimes.
Wind, yep.
They're chilly also.
Yes.
Wind is cold, only fire is hot. Mm-hmm. But if they eat a lot of spicy vegetables, it's a little too
It's
strong
like
for them.
adding wind to fire. It might make them dry out.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. That's so interesting. So do you feel like most people are aware of these types of things? Do you think this is common knowledge? Do we all kind of know, like, I shouldn't eat, bread if I'm already feeling sluggish, because that's going to make me feel more sluggish?
I find that people are not aware.
Yes.
But as soon as you tell them, they say, of course, because it's so natural.
They
get
natural.
the concept right away.
Yes.
It's more like we need to draw people's attention to it. This is why I like to promote Ayurveda in North America.
And
we need to be more aware of ourselves.
Yeah. So how far back does Ayurveda go?
It's over 5,000 years old, apparently.
Wow. Okay, that's
and it
pretty
comes
old.
from the Vedas. The Vedas is that ancient knowledge that came intuitively to the saints as they meditated. And then they said, oh, Eureka, I have this idea. And I'll share it with my friend who's meditating over there. And I said, oh, I agree, I have that same intuition sometime
So
back.
that's how the Vedas were made, is more than one saint would meditate and get the same information. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. That just blows
It's
my
like people have the same bright idea nowadays about
Yes.
some new invention, for example.
Yes.
They invented in Russia at the same time that they're inventing it in States or Canada.
Yeah. Okay, so
Because knowledge, truth,
is
it's
it?
about truth.
Yeah,
Right?
it's accessible to
It
everyone.
never changes, so it's available for everyone. But many of us are very good at ignoring the truth.
Yeah. Do you think foods play a part in that? Like, do you think people that eat, a lot of foods that aren't good for them, that creates a block for them to think clearly?
Yes. For example, a person who's heavy already and eats heavy foods,
Yes.
all their channels get clogged.
Yes.
So then it's really hard for new things to get through.
Yes.
And they don't have the energy because also, there's another concept in Ayurveda about the mental tendencies. We can either be go, 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 go all the time, which is called rajasic,
Rajasic.
or we can be slow, 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 slow all the time.
Tamasic.
Tamasic.
Yes.
And what we want to be is somewhere in between.
Sattvic. Yeah. Sattvic. So sattvic
And sattvic
food would be
is full of
sprouts. It's
lovely
full of
energy.
life. So like a sattvic food would be like sprouts and fresh vegetables, something that's alive and has life. Sattva, life.
Yes,
Is that
life.
what sattva translates into? Life?
Well, it's hard to translate that.
Hard to
so
translate it.
simply. What you're getting from fresh fruits and vegetables is life force energy, which we call prana.
Prana,
Other
right?
systems called chi.
Yes.
So you get that from things that are fresh. As soon as things are stored or have been off the vine, as it were,
Yes.
For a longer
Frozen.
time.
All that kind of stuff.
they lose the prana. So you're
Yes.
still getting nutrition,
But
but
you're not
getting
the
that
life.
blossoming, that
Yes.
smile, that wow
Yes.
that prana gives.
So like you could actually take a food and put more prana in it. Like for example, you taught me to take nuts like almonds and put them in water, and then they become more alive again
Yes.
because they're dried out, and then leave them overnight, and then they would become alive. Raisins and dates and things like that have been dried, you put them in water, and they get more sattva from that.
Yes, and they also become easier to digest
Okay.
and more nutritious
Okay.
because they're growing, right? They're growing into something new,
Okay.
starting to sprout into plant.
So the last question I have.
There's one other thing that you're adding when you do that.
What are you adding?
Your care, your
Oh,
love.
your love. Oh, I never
So
thought
when we
of that.
cook food, when we prepare food for other people, gosh, you want to think about this when you go to a restaurant. What are the vibes like? Who's cooking for you? What kind of energy
My
are you getting with your
grandpa
food?
would not go to restaurants because of that. Well, because of the cleanliness factor, but also we really believe that people put their energy into their food. So you should never cook when you're angry or upset. This kind of thing. There's actually a Spanish movie called what's it called? Something Chocolate. Where the woman she's just crying into the food, and then everybody eats the food, and then they start crying. Have you seen this movie?
Yes.
What is it called?
It's a very good chocolate.
Something chocolate. Anyways.
I think everybody knows.
Yeah. I had one last question for you is how was your experience here at the Spirit Expo this year? What was your experience?
It's been very sattvic, actually.
Very sattvic?
Yeah.
Do you like the new room and
It's very nice, very spacious.
yeah.
And, I like the sound of the gong is nice in the background more.
I know, it's in the background more. I like that too.
The colors are lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sitting across from a table that's all covered with peacock colors. And it just looks so light and airy.
Yeah.
And there's been a steady stream of people coming by, and they're all interested in what we have to offer.
Okay. Is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you just want to share with me too?
Well, awareness. There's many ways to become more aware, and
Like come to a Spirit Expo, for example.
yes, or take a course in yoga or the art of living, for example,
Yes.
which gets you using the breath to energize yourself and to relax and to free up your spirit so that you can start making different choices in life. We get stuck in these thought patterns, these tamasic ways of being.
Cycles of going nowhere.
And we need a little action, a little rajas. to get onto a more sattvic path in life.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to say it.
You can look up artofliving.org for information on that Art of Living course that I just mentioned. It's also called the Happiness Program. And they'll have a link for Ayurveda. It's a Shri Ayurveda, which is where I learned about Ayurveda. And there's lots of good information on there.
Actually, I'm a Shri yoga teacher with Art of Living, and I will definitely tell you that any program you take with Art of Living will absolutely change your life. It changed my life. How long have you been involved in Art of Living?
28 years.
28 years?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I've been involved since 2003, so almost 10 years.
11 years.
Or 11 years. I'm not a mathematician, I'm an artist. So anyways, all the programs, I've taken so many classes, I'm sure. The only one I haven't achieved yet is becoming the Ayurvedic practitioner, but that definitely will happen eventually.
I hope you do, because you'd be very good at it.
I love it. I love Ayurveda. I think I apply it in my mind to everything, especially to food. If I'm feeling unbalanced, if I'm feeling slow, then I'll add more spice or whatever. I just feel like
you've taught yourself a lot of things through just reading, and there's a lot of good information available.
No, I learned a lot of it from you. I took your Ayurveda cooking class, I took your intro Ayurveda class, I took your day class way long ago, and from that point on, that started my journey with Ayurveda. And then, of course, I always just ask you things all the time. I never forget what you tell me.
The most important thing for people to do is to stick with what they've learned. You've learned something, you've got to practice it. It does no good to just learn it once and practice it a little bit. It's something that you apply every day of your life, and then it becomes part of who you are.
Yep. I also applied a lot of the knowledge from visiting an Ayurvedic doctor that I have been doing for years and years and years. I think this is the longest stint that I haven't seen one, about a year. I usually like to see one once a year. They just, they check your pulse and they know everything about you. It's crazy. Like, eventually, I actually want to become an Ayurvedic doctor. I know that's... I don't know how it's only 4 years, right?
This is wonderful. I talked to a young lady this morning who was very interested because she wants to study.
Yeah, I told her.
I said, go to India and take the whole thing, become a doctor.
No, I told her to do it too. I actually did a reading with her, Taya. Sorry, you don't know her, I won't give her last name, but she was, I think it's a great thing for people to choose to do.
Yes.
And there's really not a lot of Ayurvedic people out there.
Shri Ayurveda has a college where you can study to be a doctor of Ayurveda.
I want them to have one in India. I want them to have one in Canada, but at the same time, I like the idea of doing it in India. But my kids are small, so I'll wait.
I think you have to go to the source for some things. We have wonderful introductory programs here at our ashram in Quebec.
Yep. That's where I've taken
near St. Mathieu, Quebec.
Yep.
And actually we have a whole building designated for Ayurveda there.
Yes.
With 10 treatment rooms. You can come for health retreats.
Yep. Definitely. It's in my cards eventually. I don't know if it's going to be practitioner or doctor, but it would be cool to be an Ayurvedic doctor. That would be really cool.
You've made a very good start.
Yeah. Would you ever consider becoming a doctor in Ayurveda?
I'm considering retiring.
You keep saying that.
Just waiting for someone to take over here.
No.
I think you're it.
No. I don't want you to I don't want you to retire.
Well, now I prefer to do things like help people to get into meditation by reading little meditation groups. That's also something you can get online at theartofliving.org. Just look up meditation, and there are some free online guided meditations that you'll very much enjoy.
Okay. Thank you, Yvonne. And I really appreciate you doing this interview just like that. No, not even no questions asked. She's like, sure, I'll do it, no problem. Thank you very much. Take your dad.